Okay, let's not waste any more time and get into it. Just quickly looking at the world, I have to say they really don't have enough colors in the game for the countries. Spain looks the same as Great Britain, which looks the same as Japan. And Arabia looks pretty much the same as Russia, even though Russia's puppets in Indochina look like they have a slightly deeper green color. Or maybe it's just they have tighter borders. Yeah, that's surprising issue for me that they have the same colors all over the place. Canada it's slightly different, but it's also similar to the Russian. I just thought Belgium is almost the same as Persia, I think. I mean, it shouldn't be an issue, but apparently it is. Okay, but let's get to the tier list. Start spinning. There's been a little change from the usual. So, considering how the previous session ended, I decided, and we're starting with Spain. Oh, that's an interesting thing. I don't think we have Spain in the chat right now. That's unfortunate for him. Oh, I should probably join Discord. Let's start with Spain. And Spain switched their color. Apparently, that they became communist. Apparently, and universal suffrage, and they are. What does it say? Restore. Did they change from it? And did or does it always word it like this? And they're trying to enact private health insurance instead of probably charity hospitals. They don't have that high standard of living, so probably that's not gonna do them that much help, I don't think. Though getting public health insurance at this point would be also pretty difficult. Oh, they got, yeah, that's right, they got regime changed. And now everyone is pissed. That the laws, they are still state atheist with Catholicism. Let's see how do they do with oppressing people, for example. Let's see those. Yeah, Catholic, and they are accepted because Catholic is accepted due to the law state atheism. This is one thing I have never seen. But okay. Cultural exclusion, that's fine. Elected bureaucrats, personal army, no home affairs, that's interesting. Usually that's like getting any of those is pretty good, I think. Interventionism, protectionism, per capita taxation still, I think most people have actually managed to switch, but they do seem to have relatively weak trade unions and very strong industrialists. Despite having commercialized agriculture as well. Women's suffrage, perhaps that's because... No, their Catholic Church is very weak. Oh, because of atheism, of course. Yeah, that's kind of surprising that they have... they are bolstering trade unions and they are still so weak. Probably because of the relatively low standard of living. They have all these institutions they could have. They have a slight issue with their current financial situation. It's actually... Oh, and they have... That's a bit too much authority. Yeah, they didn't change their taxes after getting regime change. And yeah, they should probably start with stopping bolstering. That's actually a problem. They will have to reduce spending somehow. I guess maybe start with yeah, removing some of those. Yeah, they actually have they are paying a ton for those militaries, especially with goods import shortage. So yeah, they do have a bit of an issue with money right now. Good 1/4 of their population is radical. We'll see, but that's like probably not too big of an issue. Are they constructing right now? That's also a question. Yeah, they are at least. If they stop constructing, they should probably be fine. Yeah, actually, it's less of an issue than I thought. They're getting logging camps. Okay. Let's see the market. Opium. Probably because Arabia left the market. Of course, fine arts as everywhere. Despite being relatively high production in Italian market, but that's because the standard of living everywhere is so high compared to AI games that everyone wants fine art. I think that's probably the reason. Oil, of course, they are themselves producing only 7,000, so that's definitely not enough. They're producing a bit in Lombardy. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, 5 oil rigs in Lombardy. Is it oil they get? Yeah. It's a bit random. But I think there's a lot of places in the world that you could put 5 oil rigs as a available resource, but sure. Automobiles, same thing as fine arts. Basically, luxury goods will have very high demand that you cannot really satiate in our game. Rubber is not too bad actually. They are producing quite a bit on their own. Oh yeah, also Arabia was producing a fair amount of oil and rubber, and it all caused issues for them. Wait, what? I didn't even realize there's a fascist Greece coming up, though to be fair, like Greece is not having a good time when it comes to their population. Like they're basically back to their pre-expansion level of territory, and it's half of what it used to be. And even fascist Greece is just 1 million people, which is really not that many. I think the northern one, yeah, they're going to win. Now I will probably have to intervene in this one. I didn't even realize this is happening. But yeah, let's go back to the market. Other than that, it looks alright. Engines are fairly cheap. Sulfur, of course, very cheap, despite exporting more than half of it, and most of it is to Austria-Hungary, but also a lot to India and a fair amounts to other markets. Italy is probably #1 producer, right? Yeah, by quite a bit. Whoa, yeah, that's a lot of sulfur. Coal, very cheap, and they are still importing 28k. Yeah, I think the market is doing overall pretty good. And once Arabia gets in, probably it's going to be as good as you'd hope it to be. When it comes to technology for Spain, I'm still missing quite a few important techs in production. And mechanized farming, conveyor belts, and there are some nice automation techs here as well. Compression ignition is nice, but probably will need more oil. Arc welding and oil turbine probably not that necessary at this point. Military, oh, they are super behind. They don't even have trench infantry. I think most people have squad infantry at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone had mechanized infantry already. And in society, well, they're starting on the tech H5, though they are doing it, skipping this one. I think, though, yeah, I assume the penalty is going to get removed after malaria prevention researches itself. Overall, a bit behind on technology overall. I mean, I think like the Spain is not doing too bad, but in theory all of the problems are not too big, but there's a lot of small problems they will need to fix, like keeping up with the money problem, keeping up the political problem, solving that slow research. I think for the time being, Spain goes into C, but their situation could, like, if they get to be played for the entire next session, it's probably going to get better. Oh, I was going to check, do they have any peasants left? They do actually have a bit of a few peasants, and they have some automation left. Is it all in? Yeah, it looks like them. Nothing in the southern Philippines. Not that many peasants in the Philippines. Not sure, maybe in Morocco? Oh yeah. Probably that's why they're building the... oh, that's a lot of peasants. Probably that's why they're building those logging camps. Spain for segment of Europe. Oh yeah, for the people who showed up, which is I think only Kimi. I've changed the Victorian Victory Award to Victorian Loser, considering the how the last session went, and added the new award, Last Russian Standing. And we'll see how it goes. And yeah, Spain is on C. And we keep moving. And we're getting all the heavy hitters, and it's now Mexico. Let's see what the AI did with poor old Mexico. Okay. They are at war with West Indian uprising. Oh yeah, I think that's what they took from Great Britain, right? The state is called West Indian Uprising? Oh, it's a split state with... oh, it's all one state. That's surprising. But anyway, they're losing a ton of money. How much military do they have? Not enough. Yeah, AI clearly thinks... no, it's actually... There's a lot of naval bases, but... there's a fair amount of iron mines as well. Yeah, the AI decided that it was not enough to be the leading military land-based power in the Americas. They have to be the leading naval as well. Though USA does have, I think, the strongest navy in game currently. Though it is kind of close to the Russian one. Oh, of course, and they're in the Belgian market. We'll look at that in a second, but let's look at the laws. Still state religion, public health insurance, homesteading, per capita taxation. That kinda sucks. Though they do get most of their money from minting anyways. Well, not most, but a significant chunk. Mercantilism, still, laissez-faire. Not ideal laws. AI at least didn't remove any institutions yet. When it comes to money, they are not making money. What are this? I guess they have 1,000 construction. That's as much as Spain. Though Spain has just a little bit GDP more. Yeah, they both have. Oh, the Mexican GDP halved when they switched the market, which shows it might not have been the best decision. The standard of living is going down. They are getting more radicals. They want to enact ethno-state, which is a very bad idea in the region. So the money is not going great. Let's look at the famous Belgian market. It's bad. Oh man. Oh man, it's not great. Glass is expensive, which sucks because construction uses glass, obviously. Though it's not even using that much, all things considered. Cars, of course, expensive. Furniture, that's bad. Steel, engines, clothes, even. Rubber is cheap. It's probably mostly from Mexico, yeah. Do they have low access to the... Oh, they also have... Wait. they have good. Yeah, they have 30% access to the market everywhere. That's not ideal. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a bad market to be in for Mexico, surprisingly. On tech, they're actually almost finished with production, like almost 100% finished. Behind on military, but actually, like when it comes to the important stuff, slightly ahead than Spain. Spain still needs to research trench works. I think, technically speaking, Spain has a few more techs, but that's like some techs are more important than others. And in society, yeah, they're quite a bit behind, which is bad for them because they could get a fair amount more minting. Would be some good money for them. Plus 20% minting would be very nice. Yeah, Mexico currently. I mean, they should be able to recover quite a bit when they switch back to the good market. But see, and possibly, like, if they are still played by AI for even part of the next session, they might go into they are. It's not going to be easy to recover even with a player at the controlling the nation, because there's been a lot of changes with employment and so on. Like, did they get? There were some places that were struggling to get people in. I think it was Arizona or Nevada. Yeah, still not enough people for the Nevada gold mines. Like, people are just not moving to the gold mines. It's not even that attractive because of turmoil, apparently. Well, at least they're not losing their population to United States, and they are not. Doesn't seem like they're moving. They are actually receiving some immigrants from Belgium, and I don't see any Mexicans moving. Or maybe here. Mostly to other places in Mexico, though, so it's actually not too bad. And Mexico might be getting a positive immigration from all of this. I'm not sure how. Oh, a lot of people are leaving Flanders for some reason, despite not even being that bad of a place. Yeah, and a lot of them are moving to Mexico. And this is... Yeah, more people are moving to Mexico than... well, this is one positive. Not still C tier and very likely going down unless Feliz really manages to fix things next session. Actually, you know what? With how currently it is, it goes into D. And maybe if we fix it, it will be better. Brazil, I'm not sure if Brazil is going to be played. I think they will be, right? The player was just leaving because we needed a sacrifice, I think. But it wasn't played for much of the session. Yeah, there's been a change of awards because of the last session and how things went. Now there's the Victorian Loser Award instead of Victorian Victor, and the Last Russian Standing Award as well. Brazil GDP is actually very close to Mexican now, so AI is doing something. Yeah, Brazil looks better than Mexico. Well, Mexico is in the Belgian market and Brazil is in the American market, which is a huge difference apparently. Brazil has a healthy finances, so that's good. They're going to no migration controls, which I don't think really matters. Other than that, they're going to be losing more pops. Private health insurance, that's one thing that's not great. Censorship, of course, we prefer more technology spread, but it's fine, I suppose. Restricted child labor, which is not too bad. And legal guardianship at this point probably is not ideal, but at the same time, with like 16 years left in game, it's probably not going to be worth switching that much to women's suffrage or any other of those. Yeah, Brazil did better than Mexico in a lot of ways, but mostly in the not switching the markets. So Mexico did gain a puppet in Netherlands, which was a pretty great move. Which meant that Italy went to war against Mexico for like parts of Africa. Random stuff like that. Okay, how's the American market? Let's look at that. Rubber, yeah, they're struggling with rubber because of Mexico leaving. And Mexico is not even giving that much rubber to Belgian market because it has no access. Oil is doing relatively well. They are importing and exporting pretty much the same amount. But that's fairly cheap oil. Okay-ish telephones. Dye and groceries are a bit expensive. Cars are super cheap in America, apparently. Yeah, apparently people are no longer driving Skoda, though it is... Oh, Austria-Hungary is in the second place. I think I was on the fourth for a while, but maybe it's because India has a bit smaller production nowadays. Actually, India is going to be interesting to see how their economy is doing. American market, yeah, American market is doing pretty well. Like some stuff like the glass production, maybe they could remove some of the old production methods from glass and use it for something else. AI Brazil didn't focus production technology, which is unfortunate, but I don't think that's too bad. And they are super behind in military as well. They are getting ports, but on this only like level 3, I think. I know it's not even the modern port production method yet, and they're actually quite a while from getting that. Yeah, they're going to be super behind in that, and in society also not great. But other than the tech, Brazil is honestly not looking too bad. Their standard of living is going up with some disturbances. Population is slowly going up, probably losing a ton of people to Americas. Yep. And it's in their best migration regions. Though they are getting some from other places as well. There's no like screen for total migration, right? The only thing you can check is population. Yeah, the population is growing, but I can't see compare migration to emigration. But yeah, honestly, Brazil for the starting position and all, I guess it goes into B. Not too bad, really. Definitely for AI nations, I think Brazil and France probably are the best AI nations at the moment. And the next nation is going Sigma of Europe. Brazil going up. Yep. I mean, honestly fair. Sigma of Slasher Europe. Let's go. And it's Russia. Okay, nice. So let's put Russia up there. I mean, Belgium did very well in military, but they also are keeping Mexico with 30% market access, which if they're trying to keep Mexico down, that's great, but I'm not sure if that's what they had in mind. Let's look at Russia. Oh, what? French-British market inactive. Are you at war with someone? I guess you didn't change those trade routes yet. Laws, multiculturalism, of course, very nice. No home affairs still. I guess I would just take something for the like guaranteed liberties for standards of living, radicals and loyalists, even just at level 1. Free trade, proportional taxes, public schools, still private health insurance, but it's getting there in standard of living, so maybe not too bad. Protected speech, compulsory primary schools, women's suffrage, all pretty nice. The trade unions are in 20% for Russia, while industrials are at 30. Yeah, so it looks like typical. Oh, the all-Russian fascist party is in government. Great.
Hello.
Hey. You were at war with like France or Great Britain or something? Because you have a ton of...
The UK. Went on a little adventure in Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah, but also the trade routes to the French market are inactive for some reason.
I believe that'll be France embargoing me.
Oh yeah, AI does that sometimes.
Because of infamy.
Oh yeah. Luckily they didn't start embargoing me yet, because usually the British AI always embargoes me for some reason. I'm not sure why. Russia is losing a bit of money, but that's really not an issue. Just changing taxes and not a problem at all. Almost 1 million per week from consumption taxes on services. That's a lot of money. Hot damn.
A lot of economy. What can I say?
5.5 construction right now. Building a few more naval bases. And with this, depending on what United States do, you might be able to overtake them. You are already pretty close. And looks like the American fleets are lower tech. They have almost twice the flotillas, but barely just a bit more naval power.
Yes, based on the war games that happened after last session, my navies will beat the American navies. Yeah, given enough time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because with like high technology you also get better staying power, because you're gaining troops maybe even at slower rate, but they are higher quality.
It's also they haven't got carriers than I have.
Oh yeah.
Which is a big offensive boost for navies.
And the market, there's not that many
Again,
cars.
because
Like there's actually no cars, I guess, because you don't have rubber basically.
the issue there is I never imported cars, so Russia itself was fine. But because the British colonies were in a market with cars, because I've taken them, they had consumption, and that's not spreading.
Yeah. Are you planning to like actually annex them, the Indo-Chinese
yes.
nations? Yeah.
Yes.
Because otherwise it doesn't make sense, because they're not even building rubber in most places.
So I went for the subjects to get at lower cost infamy, and then 10 years later I can annex.
Is it? I wonder what's the exact calculation, because like in a lot of those provinces are like 33 infamy if you just annex them. I wonder how much is it with like 2 or 3 wars with puppeting.
Well, it wasn't a puppet, it was a transfer subject.
Oh, they were transfer subject as well. I wonder what's the calculation for that. I will need to find out, because
it's about 21 infamy, I think, for each of them.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of rubber in those places, though not a ton, honestly. Maybe it's not all discovered, though.
I think it's going to be a bit of that.
Yeah, there's some that can be discovered more, I'm pretty sure. At least in Mekong, for example.
But it's more just to have my own source of rubber.
Yeah. Like, if you have enough, then even if the price is high, then as long as you're not having like total lack, that's fine.
Well, I only use it in certain things because it's so precious.
Yeah. Airplanes, I think, are you the... Yeah, Russia is the only producer of airplanes, with United States starting. I think I queued a few of those as well, but I guess they didn't start production just yet. Radio is a bit expensive, but that's when you have that much money, it's not really that much of an issue, because that's probably mostly used for armies. Yeah. Opium. There's a fair amount of expensive goods, but I guess you still have peasants, though not that many. But probably you can automate a lot, right? Yeah.
Yes, I haven't done automation yet.
Yeah, the million laborers less.
Yeah, because I did the calculations. If I wanted to fully automate with electricity and everything, I need to build over 1,000 power plants next session.
Yeah, but some of those are like the automated bakery is really nice because you only need tools and you can get 500,000 more peasants. Some of those are definitely.
I'm fully aware of that. It's the same thing with military, because I'm going to unlock mechanized, and to build tanks, you only need steel, oil, and something else. I think it's radios, but you don't need rubber.
Radios, tanks, as well.
Yeah, but you don't need rubber or automobiles.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll be switching to tanks when I can.
Yeah, the stream, it's a tier list, so I need to put the tier list on the video, man. It's not the actual game. In the actual game, there's nothing on the stream, but right now it's important. I think I even I can remove one thing, I guess. Okay, and oil at least. Yeah, you do have plenty of oil. Are you number one, or yeah, you are producing more than USA, but that might be hard to say how permanent that is, considering their current issues.
Yeah, that's their problem, really.
Yeah, they are having some issues. Yeah, the market overall is looking okay, though. Like some of those probably will. The rubber mostly is the issue, I think, currently for you.
Well, hopefully, because they're now on the market, they could build a bit more because of the high price.
Yeah. Technology finished with production. Finally, someone took the old turbine. Thank God.
That was through technology threat.
Yeah. So I'm not. It was maybe France. I'm not sure, but everyone got it at the same time. Almost finished with mobile armor.
Again, tech spread.
Yeah, I wonder who has it first. And like 4 techs left in society. You'll probably be finished with all techs in like 5 years, maybe. Yeah, or something like that. And of course, 1 billion GDP. Though at their high point, India did have more. They had like 1.2, I think.
Yeah.
At their high point, but we'll see how or even if they will be able to recover even some of that. They did like double their GDP from the worst point of after leaving the US trade market, but we'll see what they do. They are recovering really fast, but apparently they are having some issues with some resources, so we'll see how it goes. Russia definitely goes into S tier.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. But there's like not that many other candidates for S tier this session.
No, everyone else destroyed themselves last session.
Yeah.
Head out.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for showing up. And next nation is going to be nominated for the Ultimate Underdog Award, which is the United States of America, which is so fitting. They didn't fulfill their promise of 1 billion GDP, so, well, I don't know. They have broken our trust once already. They are making 3.5 million per month. I'm not sure why. Oh, did he? Yeah, he's not doing construction right now, and not even barely any private construction as well. I'm not sure why. Like, I guess to remove that credit, they already last session had a ton of money in debt, and they are recovering it. They will recover very quickly from this. Though I'm not sure. I don't want to click resume just yet, but I will in a second, I guess. Oh god. What? I think something's broke again. They're earning less money with... So this increases by 1 million, but the total goes down. Something is really wonky with those budget information. I guess unrealized taxes? So currently they have 150k unrealized taxes. No. Not sure. Maybe probably it's just a UI bug. Yeah, they do have only 35%, but they have like with 243 construction sectors, they should have at least like 3,000 construction. Yeah. Maybe it's the investment pool. No, the investment pool is certainly able to do more. Maybe it's yeah, you can see the recession after India joined their market and then dropped. They are recovering though, and also Mexico leaving their market was not ideal. It might be some temporary thing with the game doing some calculations with the changing of markets. Yeah, but even though they are making, the investment pool is making more money than it's losing, so it definitely should be building more right now. We'll see how it goes. The American market was fine except for the issues with rubber caused by Mexico leaving, though I assume that will be... Wait, Sweden is also in that. Oh, Belgium, man. Who else is in the Belgian market? At this point I wouldn't be surprised if Ching joined their market. The technology for United States, they are pretty much finished with production. Pretty alright on... though they do not have aircraft carriers. Also a bit behind on land tech, but it's not a big deal. Like, they will finish all of those in like 5 years. And society for techs, so if they just focus on military, the society will finish itself. I don't think anyone has those techs, though. That's not that great. That's potentially bad for some nations. This is not really useful. Minting is always nice. Like for United States it's only 34k more, so it's actually wouldn't even show up on the compared to almost 5 million national revenue. 2% less interest. Also not that relevant. So yeah, other than being slightly behind the military, but assuming the next world war happens in 5 years, they will probably finish with all of it. And basically they only need aircraft carriers, though I guess the setting up production of tanks might take a bit more. They do have some war machine industries already, I think. Yeah, actually they have 30 of them. They're probably not using them for anything though, so they're not really hiring people. All workers cooperative. That's the one issue. The worker cooperatives use more workers compared to any other production method. That's why I'm going for the command economy. Well, not that's why, but at least it's the same number of people, even though capitalists are of course better pops for a lot of reasons. Actually, I don't think I looked at their laws. Yes, still they do have mass conscription, which is very strong because of the plus 100% training rate. Other than that, all looks pretty good. Wonder how their population is looking. Yeah, of course, no peasants. 60% atheist. So that's, when you think about it, that's not that many as they would probably want to have. 60%, and they have passed atheism like what, 50 years ago at this point? That's not that fast, really, unfortunate, which shows you that atheism is it's a bit of a meme. There's a lot of discrimination. For a bit of time it was causing some issues with radicals, but currently it looks like it's mostly in new possessions, and also in probably all those regions are like having super low populations. Yep, 100k, 361, and those places are just unable to sustain their own economies. Rhode Island is a separate state. Yeah, they have too many people migrating out, so they cannot sustain their own economy, which is causing them to spiral into more turmoil, which is causing even more migration and so on. Which sucks. They do have 166k convoys now, which is probably pretty nice. What's their best? Their best trade route is coal to Italy, 18k, and the coal in Italy is not even that expensive. Though with 18k units, it is certainly lowering the price. Also 7k, almost 8k oil going to Italy. Wow, India really needs coal, because somehow 3k of coal is worth more than 7. Yeah, you can see productivity 400 compared to the oil. Half the oil is worth more than, oh damn. And yeah, they're not they're actually importing rubber from Germany, which I guess makes sense because Germany has expanded a ton in Central Africa, where there's probably a lot of rubber. They're also importing oil from Russia. Probably that will stop once they get Mexico back in their market, but for the time being, yeah. Looking at the trade routes to India, they are crazy productive. Not porcelain, apparently. And now the question is where to put America. They did manage to recover despite losing India and Mexico from their trade market. They did manage to recover quite a bit. They've been below, I don't think they went below Germany, but they got pretty close to like $500 million GDP, I think, at their lowest. And they are recovering. They do not have any more peasants, but they do have a healthy amount of pop growth. They are actually growing almost a million per year. I was actually thinking, and how much of an effect 5% birth rate has at this point, and I don't remember checking. When we get to Austro-Hungary, I want to see. Actually, let's check it right now. So USA and Austro-Hungary have pretty similar populations, I think. Yeah, of course US has slightly higher, but they're growing with 888, and Austro-Hungary is growing with 1.1 million. Literacy is 83 here, 91. That is also slowing down the population growth in America, and also standard of living is fairly similar. So I guess the 5% from the company is like additional 200,000, and of course literacy. I wonder how much. If United States and Austro-Hungary had closer literacy, how much would that? Because what does 5% more birth rate mean? I don't think that's really clear. It's not certain if it applies before the modifiers from literacy and standard of living, or after, which would have pretty significant effect on the number. Though currently, it's 6 million in difference. I guess it's possible that if no population changes happen, Austria-Hungary might be able to overtake United States in population. That's the independent Canada. And I agree, the colors in this game suck. Oh, of course, also Portugal and Brazil have almost the same color, though it is not as close as some others. I wonder if it's probably calculating like Javan population despite not being incorporated, right? So I guess it's because of Java that Austro-Hungary is getting close. Yeah, but United States go into A, considering their quick recovery. And I think 1 billion is possible before the end of the campaign. But it's not going to be easy. Definitely could use like... Canada is only 12 million. Oh, they're in their own market. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. They're overproducing some stuff like out of whack and also severely lacking some other stuff. Yeah, if United States go for some humanitarian mission in Canada, I think they definitely can get 1 billion because there's a ton of oil in those provinces. Though the population in some of those might not be what they would want. Yeah, like here, Alberta. They might be able to support 45 oil rigs. But yeah, let's keep going. Where's the Wheel of Names? France. It was an AI nation, but actually a AI nation with balls. And like not crazy, like Mexico, for example. And Belgium is also crazy for different reasons. More successful crazy. They are currently at war with Japan, and yeah, they're going to be fighting in Sumatra. They are fighting in Borneo. There are no French troops in Australia. There are actually barely any troops other than Japanese in Australia. What's the war goals in this? Oh, the Australia was already a puppet of Japan, and now they want to annex them, annex the entire Australia, and it's only 7.6 infamy. I guess it's 1.5 population. Yeah, that's actually not that many people. Yeah, the Mexico just left. I mean, they weren't a puppet or anything, so they just AI just switched to the Belgian market. And Belgium went on a rampage also adding Scandinavia to their market. So Belgian market is probably out there. Let's see, markets, GDP. Belgian market is bigger than Arab market, and it's close to the Chink GDP. So it's something. It's the third world league, the Belgian market. There is a ton more troops and navy coming to Asia from France, but it's really hard to tell how able the AI will be with using those troops. I assume eventually Japan should be able to grind them down. Though that being said, yeah, capturing Australia should be pretty easy. Australia has like nothing. Oh, apparently in the test run, France will lose the front, so I'm not surprised that I think, like in theory, yeah, France should be more than a match, but the AI is not using their troops. They're just probably switching troops between fronts all the time and so on. France is a skirmish infantry. Nah. No, they're not. Maybe here? Not really. They're not really on skirmish infantry. Looks like they're they have trench, just like they do have shrapnel artillery, and they are using lancers, who at this point of the game are just straight up. Well, not straight up wars. They do have some bonuses, but I don't think there's any reason to use them over just basic trench infantry. Maybe they switched to skirmish. They have some skirmish troops, but that's not that many. But yeah, they will probably lose those. Not like they they even don't have full access to some of those places, so it's probably not that relevant. They do produce some nice nice resources, but this one is really good. And there were like 3 provinces they were going for. Yeah, good amount of gold mines as well. Private schools, private health insurance, and they do have pretty low standard of living compared to most of the nation. Per capita taxation. Oh, they are actually quite behind on tech compared to other great powers. Probably because AI is just not building as many universities as players, and also their GDP. I mean, they are almost out of the top 10 at this point. Japan has 50 million more GDP. France is barely above China. Yeah, are they even a great power? They are still a great power, probably because of their army and navy only. But even then, not just barely, but yeah, it's the army. 700 battalions. That's a ton. They have more. Power projection 28. Yeah, they have more power projection than Germany. Despite though, obviously Germany would probably win with mobilization. Yeah, France as a AI goes into B, which is pretty solid for something that's been played by AI for like what 5 sessions, compared to some other nations that have been played by only 1 session and have been totally screwed in that time. Oh, maybe just a quick look at their market. Rubber is sorely missing. Yeah, they will miss this rubber from their colonies in Indonesia. They don't even produce that much oil. But other than that, they're not missing any production goods really. Rubber and oil is a problem for everyone, even nations that are producing a ton of those. So yeah, not too bad. India, that's going to be interesting. Let's see. Yeah, they still have over 100 million population advantage over Russia. They are getting into some respectable literacy. Though they have super few universities. Only 150 innovation. It's not like they're missing money currently. I would probably build a ton of universities at this point, though they are doing a lot of other stuff. Well, first thing first, they are not missing money at least, so that's good for them. In their laws, yeah, of course. Oh, there's no graph for their GDP. That would have been interesting. Currently, they have managed to fall below Austria-Hungary, which shows you just how bad it is. Still, they were like 250 million at some point, which was barely in the top 10. And they're number 42 in GDP per capita, which of course is not ideal. Portuguese Congo is number 1, of course. Then Italy, and then the petrol state of Persia. But back to India. Private health insurance, which is not ideal with their standard of living being not as high. They do not have proportional taxation, which probably explains why I would think they would have way more money, and they would have 500,000 even in more in medium taxes. Protected speech, super nice, but that's not 25% technology sprint is not going to overcome not having enough universities. So the laws overall are okay, but also they don't have laissez-faire. Their construction is... Oh, they are... Wait, they are not... They're using only half of their production currently? There's not enough private construction, looks like. Let's look at the most interesting part, which is their market. They are missing so much oil, though most of it is glass, and honestly, like, of course, they cannot remove all of it, but I think they certainly could reduce their production of glass. Its price is fairly low. And then maybe fertilizer plants, because I think the highest level of yeah, they could go. It is quite a lot, but it would reduce the requirement for oil by 6,000. Oh, they were in laissez-faire and had too many power plants. No, honestly, like, as long as you stop subsidizing, though it is quite annoying because sometimes you want to subsidize, but you don't want to subsidize like 20 more power plants than you need. But I found it was usually alright if you just even if you overbuild the power plants. Definitely, I think they can definitely sort their problems with oil for the most part. Even not switch off all fertilizer plants. And motor industries as well, just switch one off. Their engines are actually fairly, yeah, they're super cheap. So oil should be okay. And rubber tooling workshops, yeah, they can. What's the price of their tools? Minus 27%. Yep, definitely can reduce tooling. Of course, they're missing cars, but everyone is going to be missing cars. Also, they are producing a ton of cars themselves. They could probably reduce production of those as well. Though I think what's their issue is they have such a giant population with for the game considers pretty high standard of living, so their demand for luxurious goods is super high. That being said, on the other luxurious goods, because they are producing so much luxury clothes, I wonder why the pops are not switching into other and instead they're just continuing to buy cars. I'm not sure how that's actually decided in the game logic. Where's the fine art? Yeah, fine arts is India is the biggest producer of fine arts, and it's probably the only nation that has a surplus of those. But I wonder why they're still buying cars, and probably they could reduce production of those since only pops and some urban centers are using them. Maybe you could also remove that from urban centers. I think it only gives you more tickets. Where's the trade center? Yeah, they could switch to this. I assume what's the prices of tickets? Yeah, in most places they are fairly cheap, so I assume they could reduce the reduce the usage of cars by urban centers, and maybe then they could kill the requirement for cars, at least a little bit. Coal is expensive, though and yeah, they actually cannot build any more coal. They actually, like, for the size of the nation, they don't have that much coal. They have a fair amount of iron, and the price of iron is pretty bad, but it's not too bad. They do have full ports everywhere, though the ports are not at their full usage. I wonder why. Shouldn't it be? Is it 6 or 8,000 at max? In the mod, of course. I think it's. Oh, it's because they're missing oil. Yeah, definitely need to fix this problem. And lead. Not that much lead anywhere. If they went, for example, there is iron in Burma. There's lead and coal in Shan State a little bit, but lead would be nice. A bit of rubber in Pegu. More rubber in here, and of course, like if they wanted to step on some people's toes, a lot of lead and coal here. There's only 2 rubber here? No way. I guess that's the case. Some more coal, some more iron. With rubber. Coal, iron in Indochina. I mean, that's a possibility. Apparently the automobile weight is just too big, and Pops always prefer it. Because they need to either buy transportation or cars, and the population of India is just so huge they keep buying cars. I mean, that sucks, but it's just population, like, it's fine if they... it's keeping their standard of living a bit lower, but it's not the end of the world. And of course they could also maybe persuade Persia to join their market, and then their problems with oil would be solved. I think India is more salvageable than I thought. Lodging... Did they build also all the lodging camps? Oh my god, they did. But yeah, there's plenty of lodging camps in Indochina as well. Let's look at their technology. They're only now starting on the tier 5 with production, and they are getting diesel engines. That would require a bit of micro to ensure they are producing as much, they're using their oil as effectively as possible. Though it could mean, like, what, here additional 1,000 lead, additional 2,000 iron, additional 5,000 coal. I mean, it would help, but it wouldn't solve the issue because the numbers here are already so huge. And it would be a ton of oil that they cannot really afford, unless they get like Persia in. And of course then it should be relatively doable, I think. Military, fair bit behind. They don't have squad infantry yet, and all of those techs here are really nice. They don't even have machine gunners, chemical weapons, flamethrowers. All of those are really nice, and of course the new training method as well, really important. On the sea, I guess for India it's less important currently. Society, they are behind a bit, but it's not too big of a deal. They just don't have enough universities. And I assume they still have... They actually don't have that many peasants. Honestly, they really don't have that many peasants. Only 2.5 million. Yeah, so I think that India honestly is way more recoverable than I thought at the beginning. They also need to solve some of their market access issues. I think those are really rich states as well. I mean, yeah, this one, North Bengal, 10%, and it's on not even 70% market access. It's also hurting a bit. Yeah, everything here is suffering. Let's see. Yeah, they just, I guess, need to build more railways here. I'm not sure why it went down like this. Why would they lose all that construction, that infrastructure? Shortage in port, but it's not a coastal region. Yeah, that could be done. Switching to actually, yeah, that would be a pretty good idea. Though the question is, do they have any productive companies at this point? And they do have productive lodging companies, so that would be a really good idea. Oil also really good, more throughput, more minting always nice. Actually, the resource companies would be really nice because that means just more raw resources and plus almost 20% throughput. I mean, that's not nothing, even with such high numbers. It's not as much of a change in the price, but and all of those are not productive anyways. They don't. Well, I guess they do need convoys, but when it's not giving you money, definitely don't need Tata. This one is definitely not worth it. Yeah, the companies are a really good idea. I think honestly India, I'm not sure if they will be able to fully recover to a billion, not without at least some help from like getting Persia in or like doing some expansion in the, like, maybe not even just Indochina, for example in Africa, maybe the Portuguese colonies or somewhere place else, I don't know, or maybe in, well, I don't think China is a good idea because they have already such high population. So probably something more resource intensive. But yeah, I think India is more salvageable than I thought. Still, their current situation is rough, so they're going to be. But I'm surprised to see that definitely it's India could be doing some interesting stuff next session or session 0.5, depending on how long we manage to play. But yeah, that was interesting. Let's keep going. Brazil S tier. Okay, someone's been waiting to get more nulls just to put Brazil in S tier. Nice. It's Italy. Italy currently, I think, one of the highest GDP per capita nations in the world. Oh, hey. And that's despite having issues with Arabia living, number 2 behind Portuguese Congo, because let's be honest, who could compete with those guys? Pretty much impossible with the power of their market. I'm actually not sure. Is it they have like few plantations? I think it's just all rubber while they're so rich. But anyways, back to Italy. Losing a bit of money currently, but it's just not an issue. Could switch taxes to fix that. Getting old age pensions. See if there's anything. Good institutions, public schools, public health insurance. Apparently it's not as common as you'd think. Women's suffrage, compulsory primary school, protected speech. Institutions are going to the max. Looks like you don't have malaria prevention yet. Oh, and actually looking at tax, production is going to finish itself in a second. Yeah, you do have a fair amount of universities. So I guess it's not from that far behind that you build them, because it looks like you are a bit behind in tech overall when it comes to military, but it's like behind like 4 or 5 techs. So definitely we'll be able to finish the tech tree before the end of the campaign. No, missing a bit more in society. And there's some useful techs in here, like more market access price, more companies, Paved roads is very nice. Like that would be really nice for India, for example, to get more infrastructure per population. The Italian market was pretty nice, despite losing 1/3 of it. Well, not in GDP, but 1/3 when it comes to nations, with Arabia leaving the market for unknown reasons.
Yeah, I managed to salvage a bit of the rubber population, or production rather.
Yeah, and that in the war to give them Darfur, which is big pain. Yeah, I'm not sure why Arabia had such a. It was just simping the British Republic so much. That's so weird.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like we were in the same market, we had a defensive alliance, and we're still like friendly at that point.
It's the AI in this game. Sometimes they just don't know.
Yeah.
The Italian Navy is like number 4 or number 5. I think you're like around the level of India, slightly behind, slightly ahead of Japan. So yeah, like number 4, I think, because it's United States, Russia, Germany, and United Kingdom. I think, yeah, they have fallen quite a bit, but maybe it's just losses from battles as well. And French Navy sucks as well. Well, Austria-Hungary has almost as big navy as France. That's telling you something.
Oh, by the way, check out the cursed fascist party I have.
Oh,
they're like
yeah,
democratic.
and they're actually pretty strong. 24% petite bourgeoisie.
Yeah, but they're democratic in ideology.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's a thing. Yeah, you have no, industrialists are pretty strong as well. Not many people have strong petite bourgeoisie. Most people either have strong trade unions or industrialists. Not that many with strong bourgeoisie. Though also a lot of people have rural folk in power, and you have marginalized them, which is pretty good because they are usually annoying in most cases. The question is where to put Italy.
A tier, A tier, A tier.
You don't have any more. Actually, you have some peasants, but that's just,
yeah, that's from
2,000 construction will take care of it, I think, pretty easily. You're number 6 in GDP. Actually, let me take a look at leisure in GDP. So you are actually approaching Germany and have overtaken British Republic and have a healthy space ahead of Japan as well.
Yeah, my growth this session was insane actually. I think I had like 14% yearly growth or something.
Yeah, that's. I think the difference between you guys was much smaller before.
Yeah.
And that's considering Arabia also left your market, which was probably not that great for the economy. Yeah, I think
you can see Italy, when Arabia lost, I think, in the GDP graph.
If it's yeah, oh, that's a healthy looking graph. Not sure why it's from 96 out of all dates, but yeah, and second in GDP per capita also is speaking for itself. Pretty nice. When you look at the it's the GDP map mode, the Greece looks kind of sad. Even Turkey is.
Yeah.
Population of Greece, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if you look at the graph, their current population is half of what they had before the expansion. That they had to have a revolution right now. Oh, and also they atheist. Okay. That's probably why people are revolting. But yeah, let's keep going. Next nation.
See you around.
See ya. Yeah, but and it's Austria-Hungary. I'm not sure how the bonus to infrastructure is worth it. I just find them that they are pissed off at every law change I do at this point of the game, so I'm not getting the bonus anyways. And actually their penalty minus 10% technology spread is pretty annoying. You cannot that's why, for example, the trade unions workforce ratio is pretty nice, because if you can keep it going for long enough, then it's not being removed instantly, because it takes a while to go down. The same thing with intelligentsia. Plus 25% immigration attraction is nice, but it's hard to guarantee having plus 10 approval. Though intelligentsia is, for me at least, usually easier to make happy than most other. I didn't even realize Greece started a revolt. It clearly has just happened, and I will probably have to do something about this. Though, like, Greece unfortunately has been in either British, French, or Austro-Hungarian markets, and we've all been just sucking their pops out. Actually, if I look at their Greece pops, can I look globally? Oh yeah, here. You can see the Greece pops are everywhere. And that's despite being constantly assimilated in all of those places. There's still some left in UK, despite not being in their market for quite a while. Oh, poor Greece. But anyways, to Austria-Hungary, I actually have a ton of money that I don't really know what to do with. And what I'm doing here? Oh, I'm expanding my colonies a bit. Probably I should have done like Japan and Russia are doing, and just go for protectorate, because, for example, each province here costs like 33. I cannot, because I'm at war, probably cannot try. Let's switch to someone who's not at war, just to check how it looks. Because the population of provinces is so high, everything costs pretty much max infamy. This is 12 if they wanted to make protectorate. It's 5. And reduce autonomy. I'm not sure how much that is, unfortunately. And it might be even different with switch. I don't think you can start a war over this, but there's a different war goal for gaining somebody else's subjects. But then it's gaining a bit of rubber in Java, which is always nice, and more ports, of course. So despite building ports in literally everywhere that's possible, I still only have less than half of what the United States have. Yeah, money is good. I have almost 4,000 construction, but I'm not even using all of it because I have no peasants anywhere, even in Java. It was just instantly built up. And of course my capitalists are still building stuff everywhere, so the population growth is being cared for, though honestly I would probably prefer to remove a ton of buildings that are not really productive in a lot of places, especially like there's level 2s on like those coastal provinces that usually don't even have any employment. They're just sucking up, though I guess they do create bigger urban centers, but even those are not able to be fully employed. So probably would be better to just remove a ton of those. Yeah, there's like 600 people here, and I need them in ports, and at least ports are being supported. But if not ports, then they could go to naval bases or even shipyards, and there's no workers there. This naval coastal states for me just suck all around. Yeah, transfer subject, but I don't think you can declare for it, right? Transfer subject. Oh, there is in the end. That's right. Good point. I am trying to get a single party state to switch from laissez-faire to command economy, which the only problem is I will have to there will be no investment pool, so I will have to manually manage even construction for my population growth, which is going to be a lot of micro. I will do it for the meme, but Also, there's a 24% success rate, so it might take a while, unfortunately, because there's a ton of people who want universal suffrage. It might be doable, but also might not happen. At least they're not too radical, so shouldn't be an issue. And I have a ton of loyalists anywhere. Yeah, I even have lower taxes because there's just too much money and highest wages. Actually, I'm not sure why I have so much money. Probably because I'm just not doing that much government construction. Because I don't have that much to build. Usually just, yeah, for getting some war machines, getting some like power plants, railways and stuff like that all over the place. My market should be pretty okay. The airplanes are for the naval bases. Rubber is expensive, but I could still remove some tooling workshops, so it's not too bad. Managing to produce 1,000 myself, so that's always helpful. Fine art, of course, not enough. Oil, despite being, I think, yeah, number 3 producer of oil, still nowhere close to what I actually need. And it's actually my motor industry is getting into top position, which is not great because that's one I would prefer to keep. I could reduce glass works or tooling workshops. Actually, tooling workshop no, because it's an automation production method that uses oil, so I wouldn't want to reduce that. But yeah, I'm running out of space for oil as well. Automobiles, like everyone else, probably should start building a few more ironclads at this point as well, because I did build up my navy. Well, mostly modernize it a little bit. Yeah, excuse me, I need to drink something. Radio's a bit expensive, and telephones, but it's because of rubber probably. Am I importing or exporting this? Not significantly. I guess I'm exporting a fair amount of radios. Managed to fix some of my issues with sugar. Still importing more than half of it, but the sugar is actually quite difficult to get if you don't have straight up sugar plantations. That's why I'm importing most of it from Italy, like a lot of other things. Yeah, I'm starting to run out of lead, but I think I still have a few places I could build up. Yeah, I'm doing okay on that. And all the other stuff is looking pretty okay. Even sulfur, despite importing almost 25k of sulfur from, I think it's all from Italy. Almost all, actually I'm importing a bit from America and Arabia as well. It's minus 7% and still importing so much, that's wild. One of the biggest trade routes in the game, I think. And yeah, other stuff looks pretty okay. Technology, I'm done with production, almost done with military, just need 2 more techs. And society, it's just techs that no one has researched, so it's not going up. Yeah, apparently Sicily is a great place to live because of the sulfur mines. Well, you haven't even built all of those. Oh my god, is Sicily like the place with the most sulfur in game? They do have the bonus, plus 20% throughput, and also 100. It's one province producing, and even all of Sicily is not. Oh my god, look at this productivity. Are they more productive than oil rigs? Not quite, but close. But very, very close. And yeah, a bit stronger navy, fairly okay military. So I think Austria-Hungary still goes into their fair, unshakable A. For a second, Austria-Hungary was the second greatest GDP in the world, but United States have already came back, and I'm pretty sure India is going to be coming back pretty soon as well. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be interesting to take a look. I wouldn't be surprised if Germany, with all the land they gained in Africa, and they might potentially gain more from Portugal, because I mean it's not being played. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually were able to compete. I don't think they have multiculturalism, which honestly at this point might not even be that much of a problem. Yeah, that was a glorious moment indeed. But at the same time, Germany will have to compete with, I think at this point of the game, lots of people will want those places. Like definitely India is looking for some places to get any resources. Like that's the thing, India will take even iron, coal, and if it has rubber, then like 40, this would be really nice for India. This would be really so much coal. Well, of course, it's like the best state in game, but for India, like the gold would be secondary. The iron and coal would be super nice for them. Iron here. A lot of coal here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of coal here. I wouldn't be surprised if India went for South Africa, honestly. Like they really need those resources. So yeah, let's keep going. Last Russian standing. We're certain that it's not going to be Russia that's being nominated for this one. At least not by the wheel. And it's Germany, which I think it's fair. Their economy didn't collapse last session like a lot of other places. So I think it's fair to consider them for this award. And let's look at Germany, how they're doing. They lost a ton of people from their customs market somehow, like mostly Belgium, and the Netherlands also went to Mexico, but I think that was the session before. And Sweden were in their market for a bit, but I'm not sure. They've been like in the French market for a bit, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think currently it might be just Germany in the German market, which is a change. Yeah, because they show up here, right? If they're in customs union. Oh, Great Britain only has Turkey and Portugal now in their customs union. Oh man. Which British market is the same as Italian market right now, which is still actually more than I would think, but that's only because Arabia is not in. And Germany alone is almost more than the entire British market. How things can change within one session. So let's look at Germany. Their money situation is looking pretty alright. Honestly, considering this graph is from 1920, not 1912, it's has been a good boost in the last few years. We're here very many loyalists, like oh my god, so many loyalists. More than half of their population is loyalists. So that's always nice, and especially in the most powerful interest groups as well. So that's really good. Really high legitimacy, very nice. And over here, interventionism. I guess they do not really need laissez-faire at this point. Good institutions, protected speech, compulsory primary school, women's suffrage. Nothing to complain about. I guess they do have professional army. But for the time being, it's only America that has conscription, which I think in a mass war between great powers would be massively better than professional army. I'm pretty sure. And they could even consider lowering their taxes or increasing their wages to help their population. And their market is having a few problems with oil, because despite having a ton of rubber, and they are number one producer of rubber currently, which is very nice for them. And still they have issues. They are exporting almost half of it though, so that's not surprising. Of course, not enough fine arts. Telephones and radios are a bit expensive, and those are goods that are not only used by population. Sugar a bit expensive as well. I think they should be able to get a lot of sugar plantations. Yeah, they can fix that if only they want to. Iron slightly more expensive, but not much of an issue. sulfur being alright. Yeah, the market, despite having after having cut the weight of Belgium, is actually doing mighty fine. They have a bit more lead. They're actually not that high on lead. Plenty of iron, plenty of coal. Oh my god, so much coal. They are tapped on sulfur, but they're doing okay on that. And they could actually build, they could build quite a bit more rubber as well. And they probably people would want them to do that. I assume they have at least a few peasants at this point in... Yeah, actually not that many, but a few in Africa. And a lot of pops would gladly switch for rubber because that's just super good place to work. Trademark Byzantic 2024. Would love to work in a rubber plantation. Food production, finishing military. They do not have aircraft carriers, but they will have them in like if they even if they do not focus this tech, they will get it in like 2 years because of the spreading. And yeah, they have everyone is missing those 4 techs. That's why they're not spreading. Honestly, I think Germany might be, if they are left to their own devices in Africa, if they get South Africa as well. How much population does it have in total? 7 million, 6 million here, 5 million here, 2 million here. So this one is actually, despite having the lowest, the highest GDP per capita, they have fairly low population. And there's, this one is actually independent, and 11 million population as well. Yeah, so actually Germany might have some good prospects ahead of them. Definitely, I don't think they will be able to overtake India, well, India depending on how they do, but Russia or United States. India depending on how they go. But number 4, I could definitely see them overtaking Austria-Hungary. Though the gap is, I feel at this point of the game, 100 million. Though we are actually out of tech, so like big swings in economy are not going to be happening anymore. And they are a bit, they do have some problems with oil. Yeah, there's no oil in their part of Africa. Well, they do have 2 in Congo, but it's... Do they have many more in Congo? Maybe somewhere here? A bit. Yeah, they have just barely some. The oil might be a problem. Oh, they do have fairly low construction, though it's probably because they had a ton of manpower issues for the longest time before they went to Africa. Though that's true, that with gaining over 1 million, oh wow, they're gaining, I guess it's because the literacy is pretty low in the African states, and where's literacy? Does it show up over in the overview? I'm sure it was somewhere. Oh yeah, literacy. Yeah, they have fairly low literacy, as you can see on this map mode, but at the same time their standard of living is quickly approaching the German one, so that's probably why they have higher pop growth than you'd think. So yeah, for 1 million pop per year, I don't think 1,000 construction is enough. But at the same time, it's not too big of a problem. Building construction, I think you should be fairly freely reducing construction when you don't need it, because it builds so fast in a way. It's just, I mean, it does use a good amount of demand, which is actually usually pretty nice, and those are pretty good jobs for the most part as well. But that's probably not going to be an issue. And they do have plenty of money as well. So yeah. This one is going to be pretty quick, but that's, to be honest, after the last session, it's to be expected that nations go pretty fast, because there's some things you cannot really consider when like the changes have been so big with the changes of markets and so on. Next nation is going to be nominated for the Victorian loser, and please let it be United Kingdom. It's Belgium. It could have been so good. Wait, is Belgium here? I guess I didn't add it because it's not a player, but still, the wheel decided, so it has to be. Let's look at the Belgium. Their GDP is it's not great. Somehow I assume that Mexico joining was not as good for their economy as you think it should be, mostly because there's just, yeah, they have minus 50k convoys, and honestly I don't think, no, they could actually build a ton of more ports. They do have, oh yeah, that's the because they won, and as in they defended themselves against Japan, they still have a ton of ports, but probably those places don't even have enough population to maintain those ports, and they all have super tiny market access. Yeah, that sucks. They do have super high taxes and high wages, so, well, their financial situation is not great, but it's not too bad. 67 construction. Oh my. And they have 3 pages of ports queued. I think like even their investment pool, yeah, the investment pool is massive. They could just not build anything government and still it would be absolutely fine. The AI is just doing some weird things. And they have not that big, actually their military is probably comparable to Spanish one at this point. Yeah. I mean, 150 battalions is respectable. And they do have 15 million population, so they probably can conscript quite a few people. They do have mass conscription, probably that's why they were able to defend against Japan, because they have such high training rate. 1,256 weeks of production. Yeah, that might be a while. That might be a while, especially since all of those have minus 50% from French Low Countries. Oh yeah. Also, they have quite a few issues here. Taxation capacity. Yeah, as we've seen, their market is horrible. They are actually behind on production quite a bit, despite having very high literacy. They do not even have innovation to cap. But as we've seen, actually, literacy is not that relevant to technology. Like, you just need universities, basically. Even if you're over the cap, it doesn't really matter. They do have trench infantry. They probably will not be getting squad infantry anytime soon, because AI will probably prioritize getting the techs in the earlier era first. But if they went for defense in depth, that would be pretty bad for the round 2 from Japan. Zeppelins would be actually very nice, because they need any market access they could get. Yeah, so overall, Belgium is falling apart a little bit. They do have Netherlands in their market as well, because Netherlands are obviously a protectorate of Mexico. But I cannot put Belgium anywhere else than in A. They've won a war against a great... Japan is a great power, yeah. Belgium won a war against great power and then added Mexico and Sweden to their market. Cannot put them anywhere else. Honestly, S. And they are AI. I don't see any other place they could be. Yeah, probably a smart decision not to just add the Bougainville to the war goals. Somehow it has population despite consisting entirely of impassable states. So that's interesting. So apparently, yeah, they have buildings in an impassable state. That's actually more broken than I thought. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Like, there are impassable states. But yeah, because the game treats impassable provinces like any other provinces. Yeah. Who would have thought it would cause issues, right? Okay. So, Belgium done. I think everyone agrees on their position. Undoubtedly. And yeah, I did put them on the award as well. And talking about Japan. Let's look at Japan. They did expand quite a bit this session. They did not gain Philippines, it's just Spain switching their color.
I'm here.
Oh, hey. Inactive. Unacceptable government. I know that is the fine one.
It's complicated.
Yeah, but I thought it might be illegitimate, but that's unacceptable is fine. Just annoying, though. You do have quite a few radicals. It's not critical though.
It actually is a bit more critical because they're very localized to Oceania, and so if I'm not super careful, there's going to be a Melanesian separatist movement spawning in like about a year. That may be a problem. That may be a problem.
And that Council Republic movement is not happening with additional 40k radicals every month.
No.
Where are your radicals coming from anyway? Mostly from legitimacy, actually.
Well, yeah, that's why it's high taxes, but also a lot from discrimination. And I really want to pass the voting laws, but the industrialists didn't want to approve. They didn't want to approve of it. So that made me sad because now I'm still on wealth voting.
Yeah, does seem to be a bit of a government lock going on with the radicals, the illegitimate government, and also unable to pass. How do the industrialists also don't like you? So that's intelligentsia, trade unions.
Because they had a petition to pass per capita taxation, and I can't do that to you, industrialists. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The petitions are kind of like random and very annoying, but what can you do? But other than that, your laws are looking okay. You have all the institutions, women's suffrage, censorship still, but we'll see how your tech is looking. 10% is actually less.
I don't need to switch it.
You should be good with so many universities. Do you have any peasants left? No.
No peasants.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for compared to last affair. Full institutions. Let's look at tech. Pretty much done with production, like only some automation left, and the next mining tech, but that's like not even that important, to be honest, because that requires oil, and you usually that's an issue.
Well, okay, I am taking Brunei, and Brunei has some oil wells in it. So.
Brunei is super good. It has oil and rubber as well,
and gold.
And gold, yeah, it has pretty much everything you could possibly need. Borneo is super good. Yeah, technology, military, you're okay. You'll be finished in a few years, so that's not too much of an issue. And society.
So the reason the reason my navy isn't as big is because I've been actively swapping ships out from torpedo boats to scout cruisers, and so. It hasn't really been growing because I've been lowering torpedo ships as I've been adding scout cruisers to the navy.
Yeah, the switching of both types is annoying. Just it is. And also you have a lot of ironclad as well that probably will need changing. It's going to be a lot of pointless
That's
tweaking.
why I'm researching Battleship now,
Yeah.
because as soon as that research completes, I can start swapping those two. And yeah.
Let's look at the market. Expensive cars, but it's purchased for slaves. You have slaves? Who's buying?
What are the industrials doing that I'm not aware of? Are they doing?
Who's buying cars for slaves? What?
I don't know.
I cannot. What?
I don't know.
Do you have slaves somewhere in your country?
I guess I gotta talk to my industrialists for get the empire's a bit too big. Apparently, they're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
That's okay. That's pretty weird. They are somewhere, I guess. Oh wait, I get it. It's the protectorates probably, because they are also in your market. But
right. Okay. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to.
There's that slavery in Jambi.
Jambi. Yeah,
Jambi's gonna have cars for some reason. Okay.
We're gonna have to do something with Jambi there, especially since they have so much rubber in their territory too.
Yep. Other than that, you're actually exporting almost as much rubber as you are importing, so that's actually not too bad. The price is not too high for rubber, at least, so that's not too bad. Other than that, pretty good. Your oil price is very low as well, but I guess you're just not using that much.
I'm not consuming that much now.
Yeah, you're just mostly exporting at this point and using it for ports. And
Whale strong.
Yeah, overall your market is doing pretty well. Really nice prices for glass, sulfur as well. Those are some.
Who's buying clippers? Who's buying military clippers? What? Oh, it might be still the puppets.
Yeah,
okay, that's
it's
why they're
actually
buying.
Going for export to Korea.
Okay. Okay, I guess we gotta speed up our conquest of Korea.
Jambi, the slaves in Jambi are also producing military clippers.
God damn it!
Goddamn Jambi. Yeah, Matti figured it out as well. Yeah, you're going to be getting Australia and a good.
Well, so the only reason I'm annexing them is because I'm going to immediately release them as the puppet. But they have 2 little bits of Papua, and I am allergic to shitty borders. But for some reason, France decided to jump into my cleaning up the borders experiment. So now we're having a slugfest in Indonesia.
Yeah, apparently in the simulations you are winning this pretty handily because I.
Australia is going to fall immediately, but France is going to take a bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to mismanage their armies, but it's just too far from their homeland. The AI is gonna get lost. Their armies are gonna be coming back and forth, I assume, all the time. Australia is actually a worse place than I thought. They don't really have any good stuff. I mean, they have some gold.
They have a lot of gold.
At this point, gold is not even that relevant. Whale stations, that's probably why you're going for them.
Yeah.
so many whales. Yeah, and they're also like barely in the population, so Australia is actually worse place than I'd think. 1.5 million people.
I just want the borders cleaned up in Papua. If I can make sure Papua is a unified single island by the end of the game, I will be happy.
Yeah, the most of your issues currently are political. Also, were you AI for a bit?
Because no, I was not.
Why are you lowering relations with so many people?
Because I needed them to initiate plays against them.
Brazil?
They have Tahiti.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
The chain of island. I don't know why. I don't know why they puppeted Tahiti. Why would you do this, Brazil? We didn't have to fight. Just.
They are in the American market though, so perhaps you should go for Mexico, but they are not in the American market.
I'm gonna have to go for Belgium anyway.
Yeah, everyone will have to take out Belgium at some point. 2.6 construction, but at this point you don't have peasants anyway, and your population growth is not that big, though you will probably get to build quite a bit of stuff on Borneo and
yep. Hopefully once I get Korea's provinces are fantastic. So once I hopefully get Korea, it should. I guess we only have 16 years. I've been putting it off for too long, but Korea's provinces are pretty good.
Yeah, the war versus China is going to be a bit annoying.
It's actually going to be less annoying now because they killed their own navy.
What actually military is China using right now? Let's see.
I think they're still on skirmish. I think.
Yeah, they're still on skirmish, and even some irregulars. Oh wow, yeah, they're not doing great. Actually, is Belgium still using 20 generals in one army? That's probably why they were winning all those battles. Because, you know, so many generals. Yes, they are. 7th Belgian army has 12 generals. No wonder you couldn't take them. And they also, probably why they were able to defend for so long is because they have...
high training rate?
Yeah,
maybe.
They have mass conscription.
Yeah, from the mass conscription. So they actually weren't able to defend that long. It's just that my war exhaustion ticked down.
It was just war exhaustion.
And the funny thing is, it only started ticking down once the Ainu uprising happened, and I had to rapidly deploy the Home Guard conscripts.
Probably, maybe they had like a war goal on. Usually, AI just gets a stupid war goal on the player, and then the player cannot be pieced out. But maybe, well, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it seemed like in the simulations, it seemed like you were winning, but
it was the same story as in Korea. I was winning, but not winning fast enough.
Yeah, I think Japan goes into B currently, and we'll see how you resolve your political crisis.
I did kill the Belgian GDP though, so I'm proud of that.
Well,
that GDP drop was me.
The story of Belgian GDP is long and convoluted, and somehow everyone joined their market anyway. Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
Last 4 nations. Most of them pretty interesting. I'm not sure why I haven't put Portugal in here, but I guess we'll take a look at them. United Kingdom. There's not that much left of them. Their market has thoroughly collapsed, except for Portugal and Turkey, which for some reason just... Actually, Turkey managed to increase their population. Are they actually receiving... Turkey is no longer losing that much pop to Britain. Oh, I haven't placed Germany. Oh, I placed them in A, I'm pretty sure, right? I think so. Pretty sure Germany goes into A. So there are 2 isolated regions in British. They are losing their great power status. Oh, yikes, that stinks. This actually seems pretty useless information. Oh, they have market access issues in other places as well because of lack of infrastructure. They have revolution to enact child labor allowed, and it's not going to be happening anytime soon, but it might be happening. They're not doing anything to prevent it from happening. Yeah, I just meant that, you know, it's isolated, so showing that there's a shortage of everything in those regions. But I guess it might have an isolated region without shortages. But still. They have a ton of radicals. Their GDP, I mean, didn't collapse. Nah, they were on par, like a bit lower than Germany, I think, so they must have lost like 100 million GDP. I don't think Germany grew that much during last session. Like a couple dozen million, I think. And they are not doing that great on money as well. Even at this point, the British, and they are not even doing any construction. Oh my god. They're not doing any construction and they're still losing a ton of money. Are they subsidizing something stupid? Yeah, they're spending over $500,000 on subsidies, which is almost half of their expenses are subsidies. Though I assume, like in most places. Oh yeah, this place probably doesn't need as. How much? So it has 102 power plants. It is the 4th producer of electricity, and its consumption is 1.5. Yeah, they are overproducing electricity like crazy. And it is going to be firm. Wait, it's only 50 million credit, so it's going to be 30 million. It's not going to be that long till bankruptcy, and they might get a revolution as well. Britain is going to collapse even more than they already have. Where is British Malaya actually? How is that isolated? They have market access in British Malay 100%. There's I'm getting some conflicting information here, but okay. It's interesting that they even managed to get like free single promises like this. Apparently they already went bankrupt. Bankrupt barrier. Yeah, declared. Yeah, they just went bankrupt, and they will probably be going bankrupt again. That's why they're actually not paying that much in interest still. How is that possible? Oh. Well, I guess they just don't have that much credit. Yeah, Singapore has a port, I'm pretty sure. Like, it has to, right? It has, and it is producing stuff despite having input goods shortage. I guess it's just a UI bug or something. Maybe they didn't have enough convoys for a while, and now they do. But yeah, the British Republic is wow. It's worse than you'd think. Their market is actually not that bad. The market is not too bad, but it's all about total like financial problems in British Empire, the British Republic, excuse me, and of course the incoming revolution that might actually fire, and it will win, which is not going to be that much of an issue for, like, the revolution is just going to win and that's going to be it, but also is going to be another problem for the market, because the revolution is going to be its own market for a bit, then it's just going to rejoin again. Yeah, it's Portugal is not going to be getting much help from Great Britain, especially since they cannot afford to even raise their troops at this point. Yeah, the children yearn for the mines. Yeah, I think it's fair to say to put Great Britain into D. Or, you know, actually what? I think Old Friend is coming back. Great Britain is going into Ottoman tier. It's only fair. What a poetry of history that Great Britain, after putting Ottomans in their own tier, they're landing them now themselves. it's unfair for Mexico to be in the same tier as the British Republic. Okay, let's look at our very finest petrol state of Persia. I don't think they are producing...
Hello?
Oh, hey. How much oil are you producing, actually?
Yeah, I think I have maxed
Number
out
4.
oil rigs.
Yeah, you are actually producing a fair amount.
Yeah, like 20,000, right?
But I think
30,
a lot of... Yeah, for example, in Azerbaijan, you have 60 oil rigs.
Yeah,
but you have only
full
1,000 people employed.
Because there aren't that many fucking people there.
And I think there's probably more places that have similar issues. Yeah, even in Arabistan, which doesn't have that many problems with populations, there's like only half employment in oil rigs, which is very surprising. Yeah, they only gained 100 people in the... Here is... Your production will definitely increase. And yeah, same thing in Kerman, barely any employment. And they don't even have that low of a population, so I'm not sure what's going on. You might have to be removing some buildings to force people to go into oil rigs.
Actually, I could do that.
Because like in half of those oil rigs are not being worked. Here as well in Mazandaran. And it's surprising to me because those places have an okay population. Okay, UK being double nominated for the Victorian loser, which it was so close for the wheel to nominate themselves.
With having lost Persia, they officially have no good nations left in their customs union.
And the segment of Europe. Okay, but let's look from the top. You have some inactive trade routes to German market, which is weird.
I mean, they are pretty much the biggest market that does not have any significant oil production, so I'm exporting oil to them.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why you have inactive trade routes to them. What happened?
Actually, I think that was a bug from when I switched from the British market to the American market. There wasn't trade routes.
Yeah, maybe you have to restart the trade routes or something. And now Persia for sick man and Victorian loser, of course.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Should have just put 2 Persias immediately. Financial situation looks fine. The GDP... Did you manage to overtake Arabia? Not quite, but if actually you maximize oil production, maybe.
Like, I don't know if I really... Maybe I can, but when he's thrice the population, it's fucking hard.
They do have double your population, that's true. And
I mean, somewhere between let's say half between double and thrice.
And one issue with you getting high literacy so fast is your population growth was actually not that great the entire game. You've had like one of the highest literacies throughout the game, which actually might not have been the best, considering you didn't really keep up with the standard of living.
I mean...
Yeah, but I'm just finding out over this campaign that literacy is actually not that great.
Oh, that's interesting.
National militia still, but I guess that's fine. How much construction do you have? Actually, you have over 1,000, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, I've like 3 times the fucking Arabia.
Religious schools, so not perfect institutions, but at this point, like the power of church and well, you do have very powerful church actually.
Yeah, I pretty much accepted that they are not going out of power anytime soon.
You do keep state religion. Well, you can use you have a lot of authority, so that's something. You can use those edicts for more throughput. It's 15% and 20% on those edicts.
20% resource output, I'm pretty sure. I'm using that just to boost oil.
20% for oil. That's pretty much like getting a company. Even actually better than getting a company because you're a minor power. So it's actually not too bad.
Also 2 oil companies.
Compulsory primary school. There's things to be desired in the in laws to be changed, but nothing too bad. Proportional taxation at least, so that's good. Oh, you have low taxes even, so that's pretty nice. High government wages, that's good for the population.
Yeah.
And now the tech, which yeah, production is still far from being finished, though like in the grand scheme of things it wouldn't
I've gotten all the
much.
things related to oil, that's what I care about.
Like even if you get some automation, it's not going to be that many people anyway, so because you just have a low population to start with, it's not gonna matter that much. Your military is actually not too bad. You do have trench infantry, and well, you are missing quite a few techs in navy, but actually you're more ahead in military than I think. You probably could build a ton more universities since you have money lying around anyways.
Yeah, I guess I can.
At this point of the game, like it wouldn't change that much, but maybe a few more techs. And society bit behind as well. You are number 3 in GDP per capita.
Yep. The advantages of being a petrostate, just ask Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting any migration because you're not accepting too many pops, so you won't be getting that many people from America. You actually sent a few people to East Galicia and Lesser Poland from Diyarbakir.
Yeah, I know.
For some reason.
The Turkish are migrating.
People are not coming into, but they're not also leaving, which is an achievement considering you are in the same market as United States. I guess because they're pressing your pops, so they're not really.
I have migration controls too, so if you're discriminated, you can't move.
Yeah, and the pops that are accepted because United States are atheist, they cannot import most of your pops.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they go if they're discriminated at all. So actually going atheist is the best thing United States could have done.
Very low. I mean, I think they tried it in a beta to change that, so a bunch of discriminated pops would still migrate and ended up with like most US state being fucking Chinese. So that was heavily nerfed.
Yeah, you also felt a bit of a disturbance in GDP with the switches of the market, but maybe the better Persian future would be you'll find a better future in the Indian market. They require a lot of oil. They're much closer.
Well, I'm still a protectorate.
Oh, you're actually a
the
protectorate.
USS. Yeah, he did switch subject on me, but he has promised me that we'll go independent. Whether he intends to keep the promise is another question entirely.
I think, all things considered, Persia for this session will go to tier A because it's not doing too bad. I mean, it's third highest GDP. Being a petrol state is finally paying off. There's a lot of things missing, but the military tech is actually not too bad, and everything else is as good as it is.
The good thing is pretty much all my borders are mountains too, so have fun fighting those.
Yeah, you do have national militia, which is also not ideal. Though that does also mean you have very high conscription rate. At least. Let's see. Yeah, like almost 300,000 conscripts.
Yep.
For a 12 million population, that's not too bad. So at this point, since you have free construction, you might as well just recruit full battalions. It's like 5 battalions per region anyways, and that's actually decent jobs. Actually, I don't have that. Yeah, all people are who don't have a job are migrating to the oil rigs anyway, so I guess maybe not. Okay, so let's move to the second to last nation.
Let's see
if it's going to be really quick or really quicker.
If both nations,
yeah, both nations being played by AI for the majority.
I'm going to stay in the voice chat just so I can bully Arabia when we come to.
Now it's Portugal, turns out. Probably now the strongest nation in the British market. Not by GDP, because their GDP plummeted down from 165k to 18k. They still do have their colonies though, so if you added it up, it would be almost all of their colonies. Wait, almost all of their colonies are richer than Portugal itself. They have in Alentejo they have 35% access to the British market, but there's only 35k population there, so each one gets 1%. Good for them. Well, actually, like, they're actually pretty stable, at least. They have no army, which means they're probably going to be losing their colonies very quickly, because Great Britain is not going to be able to help them. And they have no power on their own. Their colonies barely have any armies. They do have a lot of money, at least. And in tech, actually they're not too bad in tech, but there's just nothing their tech can do. Honestly, they're if a player actually played them and managed to quickly and the thing that is, they would lose all the cores on the colonies. So that would be an issue for a player, but other than that, it actually... Portugal is definitely the strongest nation in the British market currently.
Yeah.
Or maybe, or it might be Turkey as well. Oh my god, the Turkey GDP...
strongest nation in the British market is like as impressive as being the principal of a homeschool.
Yeah, but actually it might be Turkey. Turkey has 25 million GDP, which is way higher than the Portuguese, at least core Portuguese territory, and they do have a significant army as well, and they have mass conscription. Turkey has mass conscription. That's pretty good. Yeah. Portugal is not great, though it is significantly better off than most other nations, AI nations, that is Mexico or Great Britain. So I guess they go into C, honestly. It's rough, and if only player was able to instantly annex their colonies, it would be actually a decent state, but because that's unlikely and Germany is probably going to be doing something about it in 3 years, then yeah, they don't have a bright future ahead of them.
I don't know. Maybe if the player gets back next session, he's going to go to India to seek support.
Actually, yeah, I should do Turkey. I will do Turkey in a second, but let's just finish Arabia.
Let's see the.
They suffered the most trying to prevent Italy from giving them Darfur. At least their economy, their finances are not too bad. Their GDP is almost recovered to what they had when they left the Italian market.
Oh look, you have
hey!
half my construction sectors, mate.
They have a strong movement to enact Council Republic and ethnostate at the same time.
I'll be firing that expelling that ethnostate agitator, and I'll be making that Council Republic agitator the leader of the trade unions which are in my government. So I suppose that will solve both of the issues, or help with all of these issues.
The laws is still have per capita taxation, which is not ideal. Of course.
No, I have strong, decently strong trade unions, so I'll be aiming to change those.
Yeah, 15% is time you can try to get done. It's might happen or not. The changes of taxation have some nasty events though, like you can lose 10% income and you can get this event multiple times during one lot. So I lost 20% taxation for like 5 years because of the events, which was actually pretty rough. And the AI, I'm not sure, you have private health systems, so maybe you kept it pretty low on purpose, but probably not education.
I don't think I'll be getting them. I'm getting the public health system.
Yeah, but you have.
I think I have fairly strong industrialized, and I don't think it's worth the hassle with a revolution. It could brew because it gives minus 20% approval.
Yeah, and it's with 20%. Though getting public health insurance usually is pretty easy because one of their events that, for me, usually happens the first debate is plus 20% to passing, which is unique to public health insurance. You just have to pay a bit of money for it, but it's easier than other laws to pass, so might be worth it. But on the other hand, it's 15 years till the end of the game, so it's not going to be changing that much anyway.
I'll prioritize taxes, I think.
The Arab market.
Actually,
all things considered, it's not too bad. Only glass really is a problem. Everything else is.
It'll be an Italian
fine.
market, I think, if he will have me back, which I hope will. Which I hope he will.
Aren't you producing oil?
I am producing oil, and I'm building more and more of it.
Where is it?
No, the employment is a bit of an issue.
You just it's very low price. Decent amount. 10k. It's about the same as Brazil, more than Germany.
The employment is a bit of an issue. With low employees, I can't really build. I can't really produce that much.
And Nate has like probably. Nate actually has a decent population.
Yeah, I had the migration edict there.
Though at the same time, it has a lot of. Wait, where are they employed even? So in theory, it has 200k population, and I don't see them employed anywhere. What?
Perhaps you
guess railways. Yeah, I think most of them are employed in government buildings. Power plant, yeah. Probably have to micro it a bit.
I'm considering altering the SFR for interventionism, perhaps as well.
Looking at the tax, you're halfway done with H4. You have the most important tax, and you actually are at the size where you would benefit quite a bit from automation tax, and you have a lot of oil as well.
Yeah, that's the plan. After I get the ships, I want to get farming because I have a huge agrarian economy, so the tractors will help.
A bit behind on military, though at least you have trench and siege artillery, so that's at least something. That's good enough. And in society also a fair amount behind. It like turns out you just need to spam universities in this game. That's all there is to technology. Literacy actually is not that relevant in the grand scheme of things, I think.
Yeah. But telephone's last session, so we'll be pumping up those institutions a bit.
How much rubber are you producing?
I have all of the rubber plantations built in Ethiopia, and that should be 50, and that's, I think...
that's not that much, unfortunately. Though Portuguese African colonies are producing like 10k, that's probably... it is going to the British market, so it is going to some economy, but other than that... Yeah, 3k, I mean, it's something, but it's not really nice for the... Where is Italy producing their rubber? Oh, they have some
Spanish colonies, I think.
Yeah, they have some stuff in Sahel Africa, and there's a ton of rubber. That's some good provinces for rubber.
Yeah, Sub-Saharan Africa has that.
I mean, I think despite the shenanigans of AI, I think Arabia goes into B fairly securely. But now it's time for the bonus nation of Turkey.
Hooray.
Their finances are looking okay. Their economy is super tiny. Like... Yeah, on the level of... actually much lower than the Portuguese African colonies. Half of the Belgian GDP despite all of their issues, and like 1/4 of the Persian economy. But at least their finances are stable. They are a parliamentary republic, universal suffrage, all of this mass conscription, private schools, private health insurance, which is not great with their standard of living, per capita taxation, mercantilism, agrarianism, which is interesting, but it's actually not that bad. We have 80 construction, and they're building more army and navy, of course. Oh yeah, they have serfdom. I didn't even look at it. At least they have slavery banned. So the Italians, when they came to switch it to parliamentary republic, they didn't remove serfdom, which is interesting how people can vote because they have universal suffrage and there's still serfdom. That's interesting. They also have, they actually don't have that many, it's only 1.69% of peasants. Oh, they're super behind on technology. Yep. Far from trench infantry. This mass conscription is one thing they have, but without trench infantry, they're not going to be pulling Belgium against anyone, even like Persia or Arabia. They do have a fair amount, but yeah, I don't think they can fight either of those two. Persia has a high amount of conscriptions. On the other hand, Turkey should also be able to conscript quite a few people. Nowhere close to what they would need. They have to go to D because of their super low economy and many other problems, but they're not Ottoman tier. They could fight Greece, that's true. That's because Greece, even if you calculate all of their troops, it has super low number of battalions because their population is just so tiny. And it's going down always. Yeah, like not even 2 million people are living in entirety of Greece. Albania alone has almost half their population. I'm surprised there's any like at this point the population on the islands gets so low. They're actually starving. I wonder if population of some regions can get to 0, but I haven't seen that happen yet. Usually at some point it just so low people stop emigrating. Maybe there's some kind of a lower ceiling where people just do not emigrate. Turkey goes for the ultimate underdog, of course. Hey, if you want to get your nominations, do it now because we're about to start doing votes. Oh, apparently the Kurils have been starving their entire game. And yeah, and they're at 1k population. Yeah, it seems like you cannot have 0 population in a region. Now, if maybe in the ledger, is there a population? It's in the state. Let's go reverse. Oh yeah, the second lowest population is my treaty port here, 2k, which I think is growing. Yeah, the population here is actually growing. The only thing here is 20 port, so everyone who can work is working in this port. And yeah, see, despite having super low attraction, people are not leaving this place. Though also, like this, no one is going to be coming here, which is annoying because yeah, there needs to be some kind of government ability to move people. Air 2k people. There's like this 10 to 20k floor. People just seems to maybe because it's migration by percentage, and at some point it's just slowing down as the population goes down as well. Maybe there is some kind of migration floor. But yeah, let's start. The first vote is going to be for the sick men of Stashar Europe. Just give me a moment to set this one up. So it's between Spain, Russia, United Kingdom, and Persia. Which is an interesting set of nations. Some of those more belonging than others. I don't expect a lot of people spending knolls on this one. But on the other hand, it might be an easy win to get someone you don't like on the get them an award for pretty cheap price. No, you got to be effective with knolls. Wait, can I vote as well? Maybe, but I. Oh, I can vote, but no, I should remain neutral in those discussions. Well, we are looking for a very interesting result currently. Looks like someone decided to intervene in the final moment, and UK is going to be winning the segment of Slasher Europe Award, where for some time we're going for a draw between United Kingdom and Persia, which of course would mean that the award would be given to both of those. And now the ultimate underdog between United States and Turkey, which, fair enough, both of those I think could be considered to be the underdog. Some more ultimate than others, but still. I don't think there's going to be much opposition to the player in this. Well, let's see. Though this is currently the only award that the United States might be receiving, so I assume that they're not going to be outcompeted on this, unless I don't think Jaja is here, unfortunately, and he also doesn't have that many friends, which is fair enough considering he's a mod, but still. And easy win for Turkey, getting the ultimate underdog award. And now for the Victorian loser. I'm not sure what Belgium is doing here. They're definitely a winner in every meaning of the sentence. It's Belgium, UK, and Persia. Yeah, I think some knolls might be used this time. Get the feeling. Yeah, it looks like... is it going to be the late nulls strategy with both sides? We're going for another draw result currently. And yes, turns out when you get the Victoria Loser Award, you cannot even win the award. You have to draw in it as well. Which is very unfortunate for both UK and Persia. But Belgium, that's the one justice, are left. And I guess Germany gets the last Russian standing nominee, because there's no other nominees. So yeah, that's going to be it. We have the full awards, full tier list for this last tier list before the end of the campaign, probably, I think, right? Since next session is probably going to be the last one. We'll see, maybe there will be something different for the last session, or maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out, and see ya on the Thursday.